Good day, everybody. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with today's Western Pacific and Australian weather update. Also, later on in the update, if you go to the time right here, also have an earthquake update for the past 24 hours as well. But looking over the Western Pacific right now, just two areas of concern actually we're watching at this moment. Seeing an increase in localized flash flooding here in the southern Philippines, especially around Mindanao here. Actually, just have an easterly wave kind of building over the region. So just watching that, basically just kind of seeing this cell blow up right over Mindanao right now. That's basically due to the afternoon heating out here, coupled with the positive vorticity out of this easterly wave here. And also we have this very deep area of low pressure. Been watching this thing develop actually upwards of a week now, coming out of China here. And this is going to start to dissipate out over basically centered over Vladivostok right now. Actually, if we look at the surface chart from KMA, I really do like their surface charts out here. They have a 995 millibar center reading here from Vladivostok. Basically got these cold front attached stuff to that. And also looking at another low possibly developing here south of Shikoku. I'll get a little bit more into that in a second, but just showing widespread precipitation out ahead of this cold front and warm front over Hokkaido and throughout much of Honshu currently. Actually, if we look at the radar from Japan, it's a very well-developed, basically, frontal system out here. There is some embedded thunderstorms here located over the mountains, especially near Fuji. If we zoom in over the Kanto Plain area, currently over Fuji, there is some embedded storms right in here out near the Sagami Wan. I'm expecting this to start to work its way into the Kanto Plain in the next about 2 to 3 hours here. So if you are currently watching this up in this Tokyo region, you're probably going to get some thunderstorms here by this afternoon and the evening throughout the day here on the 23rd. Now, just a brief explanation of why this actual particular low is bringing so much precipitation to eastern Japan, including the tsunami-stricken areas up here, is due to the fact that there's actually a split low forming off of this. You have the second low forming here on the eastern side of the Japanese Alps, and most of these low pressure systems that come across, they actually just kind of rain out on the western side, and you actually, during the winter, you get a whole slew of ocean effect precipitation up in this region. But right now, we have the secondary low forming off of basically the occluded front up here, and you kind of see basically this low up here, centered over Vladivostok, is starting to break away, and it's kind of dissipate up in this region. And when I say by dissipating, it's losing its upper level support because it's becoming vertically stacked. Now, a coracle low wants to be kind of slightly stacked backwards. If we look into the upper atmosphere here, at the 500 millibar level, you see this basically closed circulation here centered over Vladivostok. That's just telling me that this low is going to split off, and you're going to have this positive vorticity here centered over Shikoku and Kyushu. That's going to basically support this new developing low down in here in this upper level trough, and it's really going to get kind of strong here as it develops up here. But this one really just kind of dissipating, and it's going to have more upward vertical motion than there is divergence aloft, and that's really what's going to dissipate this low because it's going to fill from the bottom up. So I wouldn't be surprised if we look at the surface chart, if we began to see the pressure rise in this low and a new low forming up on here, and this one starts to drop here in the next several hours. Nonetheless, just basically a low developing up over there. Now moving down here towards Australia, one thing I do want to watch here for over the next week, specifically on the 27th and 28th, is out here near the Timor Sea, GFS and partially no gaps, kind of picking up on something developing up here off the monsoonal trough. And as noting, you still have all this positive vorticity and sea surface temperatures above 80 degrees and relatively low wind shear at times. Right now, I've seen about 30 to 40 knots here along northern Australia and northeast Queensland. But once that starts to die off, the possibility of a cyclone picking up here and developing rather quickly is still kind of a high potential up in this region, at least for another month or so. Also noting out here near New Caledonia, I had some leftover positive vorticity from yesterday's big area of convection that I noted yesterday morning. Well, this is blowing up yet again here throughout the heating of the day today. I'm going to bring some more precipitation in New Caledonia, expecting that to kind of develop here over the next couple days as it dies down at night, and once you get that heating during the day, it's trying to blow up once again here and basically bring that precip. So Noumea looking like potential for some low-lying floodings in there, but nothing really too severe and definitely no cyclonic circulation coming out of it. But I do want to show one model panel from GFS here. Long range out, actually, all the way out to the 27th. So precip really not that reliable, but just noting have some cyclonic circulation forming up here in the Timor Sea. And that's kind of what I'm talking about here, is that some of the models are picking up on this monsoonal trough still out here. And it continues to possible development up here when you see less wind shears. So just one thing I do want to mention and continue to watch out here. Not expecting anything really to develop up here in the Coral Sea off of Queensland, but just basically up here in that monsoonal trough up in this region still have the that possibility for the development. But moving on to today's earthquake update, and basically in the past 24 hours we have seen a few aftershocks. Basically here just off the coast of Honshu had a 4.7 and another 4.5 out here just east of where we had the 6.1 yesterday as well. So still continually have these aftershocks in the 4 to 5 range, but nothing as intense as the ones we saw back on the 21st here. And also, as we zoom out here and just kind of scroll towards the south, actually way down here towards New Zealand, we did have a couple aftershocks as well yesterday. And zooming in here, we had this 5.7 near in the Tonga region, and also another one just west at a 4.7. So these ones were actually kind of the more intense ones, especially this 5.7 yesterday. But good news, nothing really of a 6.0 or greater out there. But we continue to watch the entire Western Pacific region as this earthquake activity does pick up here, especially along the east coast of Honshu. We continue to see this large cluster of 5.0s or bigger just kind of pop up daily up in the region. But I do want to show here, actually, James Reynolds from TyphoonFury.com, a storm chaser slash volcano chaser out here, can be coming to the front page here at WesternPacificWeather.com. So you can all check out his YouTube channel slash website at TyphoonFury.com. Or if you're also here at WesternPacificWeather.com, just check him out. His videos will be regularly posted here as well. So thank you very much to him here for contributing to the website. And lastly, I do want to mention, just showing my numbers here below for the Western Pacific typhoon upcoming season here. I'm expecting about 3 super typhoons, 16 typhoons, and tropical storms of 28. That's basically just a rough estimate. Tropical storms a little bit above average. Average is usually around 26, and super typhoons I'm actually expecting below average, as I believe the Westpac high is going to remain a little bit stronger, not allow for those development of some significant storms, especially recurvature of storms, but also noting that the potential for development, especially south near the Philippines, very high potential this coming season. So that's why I have higher tropical storms, but keeping the super typhoons down on it. So just kind of a little brief breakdown on it, and just my numbers, nothing official out there, and make sure you please just watch your official sources for any official numbers that do come out. But thanks again for listening, everybody, and if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, as usual, you can post them here at WesternPacificWeather.com or on the YouTube channel here as well. So thanks again, and have a great day.